Hello, this is Plum Silver. This morning I'm doing a draw for Ron Desantis, and thank you for letting me look into this. He's a public figure, so we have the right to know because the way he speaks, this man here speaks out. Their words is like magic spells, and we have the right to actually try and understand and use our intuition to actually understand where they're coming from. It doesn't matter if it's from one past that might have been shady or whatever. It doesn't matter. There's a justice card here, and he's a wounded warrior. Something happened to him. Now, the reason I'm doing this draw is just I never even thought about doing it for him, but that's the place I wanted to go, Florida. So it's just because something big over there that is making everybody, kind of want to move over there because the freedom, especially with the pandemic we had. There's a collective deal he made here because we got the Page of Pentacles here. The Page of Pentacles is the beginning of a new relationship or new things in the material world that he's actually bringing out. And I think it's a lot to do with the way the words he takes. It's stressful for him to have to do all this, but he's caught into a world here between these two here, which I think this card is the Trump card. The new kingdom, the new fashion that is in charge. There's a change of guard. I believe that this is what's happening in that level. I mean, we're in charge of our own little world, but these people are playing a game. And he had to make a deal because his sole purpose, his sole purpose at the heart of this situation here is he sort of brought the argument, there's a bit of, he brought the battles, and he's going to be like, this is his gift, and he's going to help us to use our intuition to understand it. He's caught, there's a change because there's a justice. He was basically put on a situation where he had to make a deal because he's being judged for something he must have done. There's a very lot of negative cards around the man here. The whip at the center says something could be like a battle that he had with things that are I don't know if the mice, we could represent it as something that is consuming consumption. I don't know. The snake, it says that we're being deceived. We would never know. And the magician, it kind of tells you, he was really playing with the elements of things. And I don't know what his past is, but there's definitely a judgment card, and he's a wounded warrior. And the rumor, I wouldn't call it a rumor because nobody ever mentioned that about him except one tarot reader that I follow. I won't mention her name because I don't have the right to do that. And, it's just when I read or I listened to her reading, I went, oh my God, she could see that there's something shady. But again, it's for us to see this. And it's through his conversation because he's manipulated. At that level, everyone's manipulated. But he's caught in between this new direction that has been given by this collective consciousness. The ones that are like basically now are going to be the one pushing that flow, whatever, of thoughts and ideas, and that's got something to do with Trump. And the sign is like, basically trying to expose all this. But he's part of that, or he comes from that, or he knows of it, just like, and so he might have to make a deal because his feet were immersed into it. Now, that part of him is changing a direction, and we may not even know if that's him, because you see, we're even having the magician card there. Could be that we're actually seeing an actor, double, not him, because but his archetype or his image is used for a purpose, a collective purpose, to shine some light into it and create a conversation, because people are going to focus on him because they like him, but it's the idea of what he brings out, and it must be quite stressful because right next to him, when you get the bird cards, it's a very stressful, and then having the whip, it's like it's a battle for him to have to expose all this. Or what happened to him is he's probably may not even be the one speaking out, or he was forced to do that, So that's the gift that this sort of battle that he's living in, or the deal he had to make. The beginning of Pentacle, the beginning of a deal, he had to change faith and his direction and sort of be associated to the group that here is in charge at this time. His gift is to tell us to, might be something to do with a woman that is influencing him too. I don't know, but I think I will kind of say that this is to trying to tell us to pay attention, believe in your intuition. And we got the store card here, and the gift is you see the justice card here. It says that something had to change, and he had to give in to what the light, that new cult, the new sun, the whatever the, you know, there's definitely something to do with the sun. It could be a sun cult. You know, there's a change of guards. So we could see he's caught in between there, and it was a battle. He had to make a deal. He had to make a deal because he, and then I think an actor was put in his place. So we might be deceived to think this is the real guy, but he might be gone. He might be, I don't know. They took him down or something, you know. They took him down, and there's a big change, and they might have, you know, he might be just literally like not the one that we're seeing. So that, because there's a wounded warrior. He's a wounded warrior, but his passion is archetype is being used right now, and I think that, you know, don't put hopes into leaders, but look at what they're showing you, and you have to think about the essence of it, because it's a collective move of shining things into it. And actually, this was his life purpose, really. So, you know, whatever he did, thank you, because he's part of this show that we're having right now, that we're watching, and then this is very interesting. And these two cards here at the top are two cards that are saying, yes, something is definitely been lost. This person, if you look at my other draws, you could see when there's actually a positive move or a positive representation of somebody, you wouldn't have that many negative cards around him, especially before him. That's his past. It's like, that's what's pushing him. And then it's very stressful, because what the conversation that we're seeing that are going to be exposed to us to see and to understand, it's quite stressful, because, you know, it's a battle of a lot of chatting, could be also just rumors. But my cards are showing that there's something, a justice, something had to be done. There was like sort of like a judgment that happened that made have to change his direction of what he was about to give, all this information. So hopefully you like that, and thank you, Ron, for just being who you are. I think you had a pretty amazing background and I think that, you know, you brought probably a lot of awareness to people, especially in Florida. And geez, I'd love to go there. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.